Hey Christian, you ready for today?
Almost never.
You better be ready. Because today, I'm going to teach you how to build a deck. The essentials for Magic the Gathering. Start out, we have all this beautiful junk.
That seems excessive.
Nah, I have more. Some of which are in here.
Excessive?
Do what's excessive, son?
I think this is plenty. It never ends.
Oops. Would you like some more? To top it off? This. Is that excessive?
This is beyond excessive, Michael.
So, this binder here, this beautiful binder of magic cards, is full of spells. So if you remember in my previous videos, I taught you all the different types of spells there are. And this is everything except the very last page in the binder, actually the very last 2 or 3 pages in the binder is full of non-land permanents. So everything that's not a land is in here. And then there's a few non-basic land in the very back of the binder, and here I have the basic lands sorted out by their color, and then some more non-basic permanents, non-land permanents. So it's always good to have a good collection of lands so you have enough to actually build a deck out of, because you need a good ratio between lands and spells. So, start out, I'm going to teach you the basic 60 card format for building decks.
Okay.
100 card styles, that's going to take a little bit more effort and knowledge of the game itself, but 60 card is going to be a good start. So, start out, I'm going to let you make the decision. Choose 2 colors out of red, white, blue, black, or green.
Let's try blue and green.
Blue, green? Good choice.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Good choice. So we have islands, and for a 60 card deck, you normally have 36 spells and 24 land. So
Okay.
we are going to get 24, actually 12. Since we're doing 2 colors, we're going to need, try to split the lands right in half, so we're going to need 12 islands. Doesn't matter what they look like. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then 12 forests. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And the reason why I wanted to split the ratio between lands color-wise right in the middle, it's because you need to be getting the right color at the right time. Let's say, since we're running 2 colors, there's a split ratio between the blue spells and the green spells, and you need to try to cast those at good times so they mix well with each other. And for blue-green, surprisingly, that was my very first Magic the Gathering deck. It consisted of a blue-green, pretty creature-heavy deck. And the main theme for the deck was that I had decent creatures, and then I would boost the powers of those creatures and just let them trample over you and kill you. So that's why it's explained that way. Because you need to be squished. So now, since we have the 24 land, we need to find 36 spells. So we need to find 18 blue spells and 18 green spells. And for the ratio for that, between creatures and non-creature spells, try to get around like 10 creatures and then 12 creatures and 6 spells. Because you need to have more creatures and spells in a deck like this. So, first thing is we're going to go through this beautiful collection and find stuff that will work well with the deck. And a good start is to find multicolored cards. So since we're doing a blue-green deck, we need to find cards that are a mixture of blue and green, which I have a few in my collection. Let's see if I find them.
What have I gotten myself into? That's some sort of demonic stingray?
It's a Leviathan.
Leviathan?
Leviathan.
Yeah, that's okay. Learn to pronounce things.
Yeah. Let's do. And also a good idea when you build decks like this, try to get lands that produce multiple colors. I believe I don't have any blue-green land, so there are lands like that produce 2 colors, but I don't know if they have the blue-green one. I'm pretty sure they do, but not positive. So now, since we have the multicolored spells, we need to keep the creatures separated and then the non-creature spells separated. So now, since we have 2 creatures and then 1 non-creature spell, we are going to split the colors into blue and green, so we need to get around, let's see, 11 more blue creatures and then 11 more green creatures, and then worry about the spells after that. So, in this binder I have the cards sorted by the rarity, which I also taught you about in a previous video, and if you don't remember what I'm talking about, you could go ahead and go back through my channel and rewatch those videos. So let's see. We are going to start out with blue creatures. So and for a 60 card deck format, you can have multiple copies, at least 4 copies of 1 card in the deck. You can't go over that, but you can definitely go below that. So normally if you have like multiple copies of 1 card and it's a decent card, you try to put more of those in the deck, and then the cards that aren't the best, try to have less of those. So let's see. I'm going to do Shrinks of the Times. Let's see. So normally you would continue this process and try to pick out a decent amount of heavy creatures as in higher cost, and then also a decent amount of lower cost creatures, so you're not overloaded with either one. You normally want to try to get more low cost creatures and then a few high cost creatures, since you are running off of only 24 land in the deck, and it's hard to get land at the right time, and you're only allowed to play 1 land per turn, so you're kind of limited. to how fast the decks can go. So let's just say we chose all the cards, and now we would, after we choose all the cards for the deck, we would continue to double check them and try to trim it down to 60 cards. And if that's trouble for you, you're lucky that you are allowed to have a sideboard of 15 cards that you could have at the side, and then if you really wanted those in the deck but you also needed to trim the deck down, you can keep those to the side and then place them into the deck when you really need to place them. And normally when you play a 60 card format, it's best 2 out of 3 for tournaments. Everything make sense so far, Christian?
Sure.
Any questions?
Let's just get this over with.
Let's see. It'd probably be best that I hand this beautiful binder over to you.
Oh my gosh.
And see how you do.
It's happening. Okay. Let's see.
And maybe next week we'll try these decks out. I would use one of my decks that I either pre-bought, that's 60 cards, or a deck that was originally pre-bought but then edited down to where it's a lot better because it has some personal cards in here.
Okay. What is this?
Try to look at the abilities and see if they're worth it.
That's 2 cards in there. Get in there.
And talking about getting pre-bought decks, last week I decided to, while I was shopping at Target getting a few things, I decided why not, let's get some Magic cards. So I got a Gideon deck from the new set that was released not too long ago, and the whole idea of the set is Egyptians. So my roommate Christian, being a huge fan of Egyptian history, I thought that would interest him in playing with it in the future.
We'll see.
And the main reason why I got it was because of the one card it was showing in front of the case.
Oh, geez, this card has math on it. Why would you do that to yourself?
That's Magic the Gathering for you. By the way, math is fun. It's amazing. And one reason why, to show that I love math so much, is that I'm deciding to get a minor in mathematics at the university I'm enrolled in. So I'm going all out in math, and this dork is completely fed up with math and hasn't really taken any exceedingly high math level courses for a while.
Yeah.
So it's fun messing around with him and showing some calculus stuff and see his reaction to what it looks like.
He's a terrible roommate. Wait. There's literally a card called Armed and Dangerous.
Yeah.
Why? It's a little on the nose. Come on, get it together, nerds. Get it together.
This game has been out since 1993. You really think they're not going to just fool around sometimes with the card names?
They can do better. What? Turn to frog? Okay, I need that. Obviously. Okay. Get it out of here. Binder thingy. Not destroying the binder thingy.
Good idea.
Harry Potter crap right there.
He calls himself a nerd and likes all these nerdy stuff, but he is having trouble getting into Magic the Gathering.
It has way too many rules.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it really does.
It only has a couple thousand rules. What's wrong with that?
That's too many rules to actually be fun, Michael.
What are you talking about? Once you get used to all these amazing rules with Magic the Gathering, it gets really fun. It's sometimes very confusing if you're not paying attention for the whole time. Especially for the format that I play, EDH or Commander, if you have to be paying attention the whole entire time, or if you just miss one little casting spell, you're done for. Because there's a lot of infinite combos in that format. And I happen to have one infinite combo out of my collection. So I'm happy. Now if you have any questions about certain spells and what the meaning of it, definitely ask me.
I'm just kind of going for it right now.
Definitely in our next video, I'm gonna choose one of my 3 60 card decks that I have to face one of his and see who the winner is. And if his deck isn't that great, I'm definitely gonna set aside a time and try to help him learn how to make a better deck.
Oh, there's a Kraken in there now. So
He doesn't realize I'm a huge fan of Krakens. One of my first booster packs that I decided to get on my own it came with 2 pretty good Krakens. One legendary creature, the Kraken Tromokratis, where he has hexproof as long as he's not attacking or blocking. So pretty good, and he's I believe an 8/8 7-cost Kraken, so pretty good ability, and most Krakens are like that. They have amazing abilities and slightly overpowered sometimes. Are you keeping track of your count of spells? And
sort of.
you need to have 12 creatures,
Okay, yeah.
and then 6 spells.
Okay. Yeah, I've still got a ways to go.
And if you can't think of anything else, there's more cards in here.
Oh my gosh.
I'm actually going to check to see if there's any multicolored cards in here. There's some green spells in here. Oh, I do have a blue-green land for you.
Nice.
So we can replace that with an island or forest. It's your decision. Oh yes, I do have more blue-green stuff in here.
Okay, I'll switch it out with the forest.
Not. Because the reason why I know I have a decent amount of blue-green stuff is because I went to a Modern Masters tournament at the last Modern Masters release, and I had a 3-color deck. It was white, blue, and green. So when I was drafting for that, I tried to get a decent amount of multicolored cards. Oh yes.
That's back in this one.
I'm totally helping Christian out a little bit. that should go on your deck.
Okay. So that guy's gonna go back.
What set is this from?
Okay, so
It's kind of sad when I have cards in this box that I don't even remember having.
okay. Oh jeez.
I'm making it easier on you. Just so you don't have to deal with going through these cards over here.
Okay.
And what I'm mostly picking out for him are prevent combat damage spells, so that it helps him out a lot more.
Okay. Oops.
Since when did I have these cards? These two blues.
Okay, these are both. Okay. Go through these stuff.
The fun part for deck building is when you have to trim it down to 60 cards. So I hope you have a lot of fun doing that.
Okay.
It gets
What's
aggravating
this?
sometimes.
It's like a house elf but evil. This little Okay, oh my gosh. It never ends.
I'm giving you good ones too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, jeez. Okay. That one's just mean. Tombstone.
That's why I gave it to you.
Tombstone. Oh my gosh.
If you think that's mean, I have a card in my blue EDH deck that mills half of your library.
Oh my gosh.
And it's only 5 cost.
Why is that allowed? 2, 3, 4. So I'm gonna have to get rid of some of green guys. That's okay. Okay, yeah, I don't really need 2 of the little elfy guys now. Let's see. Yeah.
Are you sure about that? These produce mana for you.
Yeah. Let me see.
And mana is always good at the beginning of the game. Gives a good head start. The rest you could do on your own, even though I gave you a good portion of the deck.
Okay. Here. Let me see.
I can't help it helping him.
Okay. Let me see. How many of these was I supposed to have?
You're supposed to have 6 blue spells
Okay.
and 6 green spells. Non-creature spells. Are you done with the binder for that?
Sure. Let's see. Oh, that's one of both too. And that's also both. That's way more than 6. Definitely keeping the frog thing. See,
This card is good, but very high cost, and it's kind of iffy unless you have a good mana ramp in that deck.
Dragon thingy.
It's a Sphinx.
Oh, it's a Sphinx. It just looks like a dragon on the floor.
He claims to know stuff about Harry Potter, but he couldn't recognize what a Sphinx looks like.
They didn't do a very good job drawing it. Okay, let's see.
If I really wanted to, I could go through this deck that he's building and completely mention all the bad stuff about it.
Yeah.
But I'm a nice person, so I'm not going to do that.
If you say you're nice. Okay. Okay. So that's 5 of those.
If you really want to mess with me, Christian, I could always
Nope.
show you a special card mat that I have.
Nope.
I've had a lot of people say
Those are creepy.
this card mat is creepy, but I kind of like it. What do you guys think? One day, at 3 o'clock in the morning or something, I'm gonna just have this card mat in front of my face and put it, creep up on Christian in the middle of the night and scare him with it and see what happens. And I would have to make sure I videotape it too. Because Christian is not a huge fan of this.
Why do you... Why? Why does that exist?
I ended up getting this card mat from a friend who used to have it, and then he started saying it was creepy, and his grandfather even said it was very creepy. So he kind of gave it to me. So now I have 2 card mats. A good use for someone who doesn't own a card mat and doesn't mind using a creepy card mat.
Yeah.
And this is a really good card mat if you want to distract your opponents big time. Or they think it's so creepy that they don't even want to look at it, and that gives them the advantage of being able to cast a lot of stuff without them paying attention. So you should definitely try to get a creepy card mat. Creepier than that.
A couple extra, you're gonna have to help me figure out how to trim this down though. I don't know what I'm doing at all. Okay. And then these snaky guys look fun. Okay.
That's why I gave them to you.
Okay.
And for creatures, you need to have 12 of each color, including the multicolored.
Okay.
So try to split the multicolored evenly across both.
Well, look, there's 4 multicolored ones. Okay.
So have 2
that's
in the
2.
blue creature pile and then 2 in the green creature pile.
So I need 5 more of the blue ones.
You take a peek at these.
4, 5, and 5 more of the green ones. Let's see. Ooh.
Try to get it like
that blues goes
Get
there.
one more. Okay.
So there's those. So I need a few more blue ones and then 5 more green ones.
And when you get the rest of the cards, try to look at the mana cost this time. Because you're at the limit for high cost creatures, so try to get like maybe 4 costs in here and a few 3 and maybe even a 1 cost little creature.
Okay.
I have a
Let's
few of
see.
those.
I need to get rid of 2 of those. Figure it out. Okay, so I need 3 more blue things. 5 more green
Definitely need
things.
to keep those and that and that. I guess we take those out.
Friggin' dragon.
Do you have any multicolored spells that you're putting in this pile?
Well, I have just this one multicolored one.
Okay.
Sphinxes. No. Where are you?
The spells that you think about removing, keep them set to the side, and we could possibly build a sideboard out of them.
Okay.
Which, again, consists of 15 cards. That's not of the colors, it has black.
Why is there a skull? Come on, people.
That's a symbol for black.
Skull. It seems they're just trying too hard.
What the symbol for red is fire. The
Whatever.
symbol for white is the sun. The
Whatever.
symbol for green is a tree. The symbol for blue is water.
Okay, I'm just gonna throw it back out.
It has to make common sense.
Okay.
Or try to mix up the colors too.
Yeah. It's not too much blue. It's about even.
Generally, when I make a deck, I just think of first, I do choose the colors and try to think of a general theme for the deck and try to run along with that theme throughout the whole deck. And that's probably the best idea for you guys to do as well. You guys probably think that I'm shuffling the deck way too long, but right after you build a deck, all the cards are sorted by their type. So you don't want to be drawing a whole bunch of land and like no creatures, or a whole bunch of creatures and no lands. So that's why the majority of the time he's trying to build his sideboard, I'm shuffling his deck. So it's ready to play.
That is ridiculous. Oh my gosh.
I know my cards so well that I can just look at the picture or the art of the card and I know exactly what it does.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what happens when you play Magic for 5 years now. Not the full time I was playing, but majority of the time, 5 years I've been playing Magic together.
Okay. Where's that?
There's your deck.
Yay.